Ambassador Auditorium, made possible by gifts from the Worldwide Church of God, dedicated to the honor and glory of the great God. The inaugural concert will be presented by the Vienna Symphony Orchestra, conducted by Maestro Carlo Maria Giulini. Widely recognized as one of the world's outstanding symphony orchestras, the Vienna Symphony annually performs some 200 concerts in Vienna, over the radio as well as in concert halls. The orchestra came to Pasadena after just completing a successful tour of Russia. With this concert, the Vienna Symphony makes its American debut with Maestro Carlo Maria Giulini as its conductor and music director. Since the auditorium was built to honor and glorify God, only one of the finest orchestras available would be suitable for the inaugural concert. Mr. Armstrong considered 3 symphony orchestras for the occasion: the Berlin Philharmonic, the Vienna Philharmonic, and the Vienna Symphony Orchestra. A dinner meeting was first arranged with Herbert von Karajan, conductor of the Berlin Philharmonic in Germany. The Berlin Philharmonic could not be engaged because their schedule of performances was filled up for more than 2 years in advance. Von Karajan did, however, recommend Giulini. Next, Mr. Armstrong went to Austria to meet with Karl Bohm, conductor of the Vienna Philharmonic. The Vienna Philharmonic, however, was only available in March, and completion of the auditorium could not be guaranteed by that date. Finally, Mr. Armstrong visited the Vienna Symphony. When Mr. Armstrong saw Giulini perform, he knew the Vienna Symphony, conducted by Giulini, was the orchestra for the inaugural concert. Mr. Armstrong was further impressed by the fact that Giulini believes in the philosophy of doing everything to the very best of his ability, a biblical principle we all try to follow. Giulini's philosophy is especially evident in his performances, which certainly have been memorable occasions. Giulini has appeared with the Israel Philharmonic Orchestra, the Spanish National Orchestra, and the Orchestra of Paris, in addition to frequent appearances with London's New Philharmonic Orchestra and the London Symphony Orchestra, to name only a few. It is not surprising that Giulini is accorded the highest respect of musicians the world over. The 1,250-seat auditorium has been designed and constructed for the finest acoustical projection and balance. A specially designed orchestra shell provides for the projection of the truest in unreinforced natural tones. Sound can be reflected or absorbed in a variety of different ways, depending upon the use of the auditorium. For reinforced sound, the auditorium can claim the latest in solid-state modular components, including an unusually versatile professional recording console featuring 48 separate channels. 236 microphone inputs are strategically located throughout the auditorium. Many of these are situated in the area of the stage and hydraulically operated orchestra platform. Two separate recording rooms are located on the lower level. All locations feed into the central recording console. Lighting in the auditorium is controlled by the most sophisticated mini-computer system in the industry today, developed specifically for this installation. The computer allows for preset lighting sequences. In addition, built-in television cables provide for remote television and radio recording. In the future, campaigns could be taped in the auditorium. As a performing center, Ambassador Auditorium is unequaled for a building its size. But Ambassador Auditorium is more than a concert hall. It serves as an assembly hall for students and faculty. As such, it becomes a focal point on the Ambassador College campus, where God's Word and God's way of life are emphasized as the only firm basis upon which all true knowledge, progress, and happiness can be acquired. The first building Mr. Armstrong wanted to build was the auditorium, but necessities of the work forced other buildings to take precedence. Design of the auditorium began in the early 60s as part of the Ambassador Master Plan. In 1963, the firm of architects Daniel, Mann, Johnson, and Mendenhall presented Mr. Armstrong with several sketches. It wasn't until the summer of 1971 that work was begun in preparation for the construction of the auditorium. Groundbreaking ceremonies took place on January 14, 1972. Since the auditorium was to be built to the honor and glory of God, William Simpson Construction Company, noted for many of the fine buildings in the Los Angeles area, was chosen by Mr. Armstrong. The auditorium proved to be a challenge to Simpson Construction Company. The ordinary building is not made with the finest of woods, stones, and metals. When working with materials of superior quality, doing the best job possible becomes challenging, interesting, and rewarding. The 100 or so men who worked on the building daily realized that finer workmanship was required of them and took pride in their work. Mr. Armstrong became a frequent inspector as the building progressed. As of May 1st, 1974, the total cost of the auditorium was $10,894,701, with the auditorium just about finished. At the start of construction in 1972, the property fund supplied approximately 18% of the cost. We were fortunate to arrange financing for the remainder. If construction began today, the auditorium would cost 20% more. The chandelier in the main lobby was designed by Sid Dorner and weighs 6,300 pounds. It hangs 30 feet from the bronze bar ceiling, 25 feet from the floor, and can be lowered to the floor for maintenance. Most of the woods in the auditorium are either teak or rosewood. Since rosewood cannot be obtained in thickness greater than 3/4 of an inch, a substitute for the stair railings had to be found. Martiki, a wood resembling rosewood and having the required thickness, was obtained in Africa, the only place it can be found in the world. The custom-designed wool carpeting in both lobbies was personally selected by Mr. Armstrong in Hong Kong. The rest of the carpeting was made in Philadelphia. Now, via time-lapse, let's watch 2 years of construction take place. Brazilian emerald green granite decorates the outside walls of the auditorium. The granite was cut and polished in Massacre, Italy, as was all marble and onyx found inside the auditorium. There are 26 72-foot pillars surrounding the auditorium. The sparkling aggregate in the concrete is quartz. The soffits extend 24 feet from the outside walls and are decorated with Italian white and gold mosaic. The bridges leading to the auditorium were paved with Norwegian Sandefjord gray granite and trimmed with African Angola black granite. The reflecting pool covers 1/2 acre and holds 500,000 gallons of water. There are 365 lights 1.5 to 2 feet below the surface. The soaring 30-foot egret fountain located in the center of the quadrangle was created by the distinguished English sculptor David Wynne. All of the landscaping was done by our own expert gardeners. Ambassador Auditorium is more than a concert hall and more than a student-faculty assembly hall. First and foremost, Ambassador Auditorium is a house of worship. Being a house of worship built to honor God, the auditorium must reflect the very character and dignity of the great living God. God's high standards of quality and beauty are reflected throughout the whole auditorium. Dominating the grand lobby is the chandelier. Its bronze tiers extend out 15 feet from the center and embrace 1,375 crystals imported from Belgium. There are 99 lights on the 3 tiers and 28 concealed in the bottom center dome. The carpet pattern below is intended to be its reflection, just as the building is mirrored in the reflecting pool outside. The colors in the carpet are those of God's temple in the Bible. The carpeting in the lounge below the grand lobby is of a bold, lively sunburst pattern. The 2 brass and crystal chandeliers in the lounge weigh 700 pounds. All wood paneling is patterned, a testimonial to the fine craftsmanship of those men who worked on the auditorium. Notice the rosewood paneling, and that the pattern continues from panel to panel across the doors and above the doors. In the grand lobby, 2 7-foot 2-inch candelabras stand on either side of the inscription. The candelabras, made in Baccarat, France, were originally used as an extra added touch in the Shah of Iran's palace during the celebration of the 2500th anniversary of the Persian Empire. Each candelabra contains more than 2,000 pieces of crystal, some weighing up to 30 pounds. Each crystal is made to fit in one and only one place on the candelabra. Heavy bronze doors grace the entrances to the main auditorium. The bronze door pulls were sculptured into the emblem of Ambassador College by Ernest Shelton. All of the walls in the grand lobby are of rose onyx, quarried in Turkey and Persia, giving Ambassador Auditorium the distinction of having the largest installation of rose onyx in the world. Finally, the ceiling under the balcony and stairs are of 14-karat gold leaf. The next level above the grand lobby is the mezzanine. The walls are paneled with teak, again patterned carefully. The balcony is decorated in crimson and gold, in contrast to the main auditorium colors, which are gold and purple. The grand house drapes are of 3 shades of gold silk velour. The 2 Steinway concert grand pianos were made in Hamburg, Germany. It is not incompatible that a building used to worship God be also used for other wholesome purposes, like concerts and assemblies. God's way is that of serving, giving, and sharing.